So thankfully, every press conference we've gotten since EA has been getting better and better, and Microsoft's this year is one of their best they've ever done. There was a lot of great information this year, and there's really two main fronts that I think they really knocked it out of the park with. First off, just like last year's E3, they did an excellent job of focusing on games, and games. We saw a lot of gameplay for a lot of titles we already know about, but was much more extensive and in-depth than we've seen at a lot of other conferences this year so far. We finally got some gameplay for Recore that looked amazing. We got to see the same trailer for Battlefield 1 again. Final Fantasy 15 looked awesome, but at the same time was kind of not the best gameplay demo ever live. Tekken 7 looks fantastic. Sea of Thieves was this great montage of lots of people experiencing it for the first time and actually made it look like legit a bunch of fun. And the gameplay for Scalebound was incredible, showing 4 players riding dragons tackling a huge boss. To top this off, we got a lot of new game announcements as well. Forza Horizon 3, which looks beautiful. Dead Rising 4, which was leaked ahead of time but still looks fantastic. We also got State of Decay 2, a dedicated Gwent card game from CD Projekt Red, and a new indie title by the name of We Happy Few, which looks really interesting. But what really made this a successful and very strong press conference for Xbox is how they spun the news about the fact that pretty much every game that comes out from now on isn't going to be just on the Xbox One. It's now going to be Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive, which, when this was first announced, a lot of people were pissed, because it basically means, why should I own an Xbox One if I could just get a high-end gaming PC? And the way they countered it was by really focusing on this idea of play anywhere, this very optimistic viewpoint of, you can just get games you want and play them on whatever platform you'd like. The idea being that, if you get a game on Xbox One, you can also play it on your PC, or vice versa, sharing save data, achievements, all that information, as long as that game is exclusive to Xbox One and Windows 10, which is really genius, because it's basically saying, yes, we understand that the Xbox One is no longer going to be an exclusive system for any games, but if you still like the simplicity of a front-room home console, you can still do that, and games are going to run on both that and your PC if you have a dedicated setup. We also got a handful of other announcements that weren't directly related to just hardware or games. I think my personal favorite being the announcement of the Design Lab, where you now have the ability to customize your own Xbox One controller for $80, or $90 if you want to get it etched with your name on it. Now, one thing I did find a little odd about this conference, though, is how much competition Microsoft was kind of giving itself. We got 2 new hardware announcements, which we all basically saw going in, which was the Xbox One Slim, which is already up for pre-order, and Project Scorpio, which basically just gave us a lot of hype talk and promised it's going to be a more powerful Xbox One and will be due out this holiday 2017. And what's so weird about this idea to me is that since they focused so much on the idea of games being on Windows 10 and Xbox One, they basically simultaneously said to us, hey, there's a new Xbox One you can buy now, there's a more powerful Xbox One that you can buy a year and a half from now, or you can just focus on PC gaming and leave the entire economy alone. So they're giving people a lot of choices all at once, which I'm just curious how it's going to affect sales of each individual platform. Which really isn't by any means a bad thing, it's just that Microsoft is giving us a lot of options, which is kind of awesome. So all in all, it was an excellent conference, easily one of the best ones they've had, definitely on par with last year, and it's going to be really interesting to see what Sony does later today to try and counteract this hype.